Hi all, myself D. Srinivas, Assistant Professor, Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, KG Reddy College of Engineering and Technology. In our today's lecture, we are going to discuss about types of elements in electrical circuits. Now, if you see the types of network elements, in our previous lectures, we are already discussed about basic elements of electrical circuits, that is resistance, inductance and capacitance. Now, we can classify the network elements into various types based on some parameters. Now, these are the following types of network elements. So in that, the first one is active elements and passive elements, and the second one is linear elements and non-linear elements, and the third one is bilateral elements and unilateral elements, and the fourth one is lumped elements and distributed elements. Now before going to know about active elements, so let us remind the basic properties of different circuit elements already we have discussed in our previous lectures, that is like resistance and inductance and capacitance and two sources, that is voltage source and current source. I will give you the just 30 seconds of time. Just remind those elements and their properties once. If we know about those properties and basic idea about those elements, it makes us easy to learn quick about these active elements. Okay, I'll give you the 30 seconds of time. Just remind those properties of elements of resistance, inductance and capacitance. Yes, if we remind the basic properties of resistance, inductance and capacitance. So resistance is the one which will oppose the voltage. That is nothing but if you observe the any response across the resistance, if you take the current will oppose the change in voltage. Now if you see the property of inductance property is it does not allow the sudden change in current. While coming to the capacitor, if you observe the capacitance property, capacitance is the one which does not allows the sudden change in voltage. So these are the basic properties of resistance, inductance and capacitance. Now here if we observe the active elements, we can classify the network elements into either active or passive based on the ability of delivering power. Now active elements are deliver power to the other elements which are present in an electric circuit. Sometimes they may absorb the power like passive elements. That means the active elements have the capability of both delivering power and absorbing power. That is nothing but by the definition of active elements we can conclude that the elements which are capable of delivering the power and absorbing the power. But already we know that if we calculate the power across any particular element, if we get the positive value of power, then we can conclude that it will absorb the power. For suppose if we calculate the power across any element, if we get the negative value of power, then we can conclude that those elements will deliver the power. So here if we take the active elements are the elements which is capable of delivering the power as well as absorbing the power. So the examples of Active elements are voltage sources and current sources. Now if we move on to the passive elements are the one which can't deliver the power to other elements. However, they can absorb the power. That means these elements either dissipate the power in the form of heat or store in the form of heat in the form of their magnetic field or electric field. That is nothing but passive elements are the elements which is having the uh, uh, property which will observe the energy only. They can't able to deliver the power to the other elements. So the examples of passive elements are resistors, inductors and capacitors. Now we'll see linear elements and non-linear elements. So we can classify the network elements as linear or non-linear based upon their characteristics to obey the property of linearity. That is nothing but if we take any one element, if we if it is satisfy the linearity property in between the voltage and current, then we can say that those types of elements are linear elements. So here linear elements are the elements that show a linear relationship between voltage and current. So if we see the examples of linear elements, resistors, inductors and capacitors are the linear elements. While coming to the non-linear elements are those that do not show a linear relationship between voltage and current. So the examples of non-linear elements are voltage sources and current sources. So here if any element will satisfy the linearity property in between voltage and current, then we can conclude that these are linear elements. If does not obey the linearity property in between voltage and current, then we can say that those elements are non-linear elements. So later on, bilateral elements and unilateral elements. So network elements can also be classified as either bilateral or unilateral based on direction of current flows through the network elements. So let us first discuss about bilateral elements. So bilateral elements are the elements that allows the current in both the direction and after the offer the same impedance in either direction of the current flow. That is nothing but if we interchange the voltage and current directions also, if we calculate the impedance value, we'll get the same impedance when they have a conventional directions. So that is nothing but the element which allows the current in both the direction, then we can say that those elements are called as a bilateral elements. So the examples of bilateral elements are resistors, inductors and capacitors. Now the concept of bilateral elements is illustrated in the following figure. Hi all, myself D. Srinivas, Assistant Professor, Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, KG Reddy College of Engineering and Technology. In our today's lecture, we are going to discuss about types of elements in electrical circuits. Now if we observe some example, if you take this is one characteristics of that particular element. So here the characteristics are operating into first and third quadrant operations. So with this example, let us summarize how we will identify linear, non-linear, active and passive, and unilateral and bilateral elements. Now the first step we need to do, verifying the network element as a linear or non-linear. So from that characteristics figure, the VA characteristics of a network element is a straight line passing through the origin. Hence it is showing the linearity property. Then we can conclude that that particular characteristics having element is a linear element. In the second step, verifying the network element as active or passive. So the given VA characteristics of a network element lies in the first and third quadrants. So in the first quadrant, the value of both voltage and current are positive. So the ratio of voltage and current gives positive impedance values. That is nothing but here we have considered active and passive element depending upon the power. So obviously we know that when it is operating in the first quadrant, if you multiply the voltage and current, you will get the power is positive. That why? Because P equal to V into I. Similarly, in the third quadrant, the values of both voltage and current have the negative values. So if we calculate the product of that voltage and current, we will get the positive power itself. That is nothing but if it is operating in the first quadrant, we will get the positive power. If it is operating into the third quadrant also, we will get the positive powers and positive impedance values. Then we can say that the particular characteristic element is a passive elements. Why? Because in both the quadrants it will consuming the power, that is nothing but it is absorbing the. Now in the step 3, verifying the network elements as bilateral elements. So if every point that is in a first quadrant or third quadrant, if you take the voltage and current ratio, we will get the positive impedance itself. Therefore we can conclude that those particular element is bilateral elements. Therefore the given VI characteristic shows that the network element which is having that particular characteristics corresponding diagram is a linear, passive and bilateral element. Now we will see about lumped and distributed elements. So here lumped elements are those elements which are very small in size and in which simultaneous actions takes place. Typically lumped elements are capacitors, resistances or inductance. So this is nothing but these are electrically separate each other. We can able to analyze the individual element property with the help of lumped elements. Now while coming to the distributed elements are those which are not electrically separable for analytical purpose. For suppose if you take a transmission line, so the equivalent circuit of transmission line will indicate resistance, inductance and capacitance values. We can't able to analyze individual performance of that particular network. So those type of elements will comes under the distributed elements. For example, a transmission line has distributed parameter along its length and may extend it for hundreds of miles. So this is the basic classification of lumped and distributed elements. So in our today's lecture, if we summarize sum up together, we have discussed about the different types of elements like active elements and passive elements, and linear elements and non-linear elements, and bilateral elements and unilateral elements, at the same time lumped and distributed elements. So we have seen the basic definitions. Also we have taken one example which is having some characteristics. So depending upon that characteristics, how can we identify whether that particular element as active, linear or passive or non-linear or lumped and distributed. So this is how we can able to analyze the types of elements. Okay, thank you.